Good morning, everyone. My name is Edoardo Cutichini. I work at Konica Minolta Europe in the professional printing group. Thank you for joining the session today, a session where we will be talking about automated digital print production. Together with me, there will be some other colleagues from the team. We'll give you an overview on why we think automation is so important and what can be done through automation, and some insights on what happens in the background when we look at automation. So before we move into the details, let's go backward on what happened in the last 12 months. Of course, our lives have been disrupted, right? I'm not the one that has to talk about this over and over again, but it's undeniable. It is what it is, and our private lives have changed, and also the way we work. The overall economy has changed. It had an impact on many things that no one could have ever expected, and the printing industry was no different when it comes to all of this. There's been certain volumes have decreased, and some applications have virtually disappeared for the time being. Let's see if they come back. But there's been also some positive signs that we have seen. When we think of the printing industry, simply look at the labeling and packaging, for example, but also segments in the higher commercial printing segment. There's been some new applications that have come up, or new certain type of applications that have even increased in recent times. But one thing that I would like to point out, and where I think we would all agree on, is that this pandemic times actually made the change towards digital go much faster than we could have thought, in the sense that the trend towards digital was already happening. And this is applying to everything in life. But through this pandemic, this became, I believe, it accelerated in a way that no one could effectively expect. And this is also why we live in times where we talk about next day delivery, right, between quotation marks, for everything we do. And once again, print is no exception in this case, because that is what is expected. So what is there for us in the future? It's a big question, honestly, because and I think it's everyone's responsibility here. So us as manufacturers, but also you listening to me now, hopefully print providers or print buyers, everyone in the overall supply chain when it comes to print. So I personally believe that print is there to stay, in a different way probably, and we need to find different ways on how do we use print and what do we do with print, and the opportunities are unlimited. But one of the things that we need in order to do this is probably the most precious thing of all, which is time to be creative and time to analyze what we can do and what we cannot do. And this is actually leading me now into the automation topic, because automation allows us, hopefully, to save time for ourselves and focus on other things by still maintaining the level of service and quality and reliability that we like to offer. So let me move into the point of why is automation so important. So automation is important for different factors. I have tried to list a few of them. The first one that comes to mind is the fact that automation allows us to reduce error. I think we will all agree on that whenever we have a system in place that allows us to streamline what we're doing, the risk of having errors along the way is highly reduced. So when you think of a job that is somehow repetitive because of the format that it has, or the way it needs to be printed or finished, why not automating this and making sure that then we have no issues when it comes to it? Because by doing this, if we have no errors, we reduce waste, we reduce cost, we protect our margins on what that we're making on that product that is being produced. And reducing errors through automation is something that you can do before or even during printing in some cases. And you will see some more details later. But anyway, the bottom line on this point is that ultimately, by reducing errors, we can have an increased productivity and profitability. When we move to the second point, automation allows you to be faster. So in relation to what I just spoke about in my introduction, we were talking about the everything must be next day delivery. So the turnaround times are obviously expected to be short, very short. And we see that the trends showing us that there is an increased volume of shorter runs being requested. Therefore, it is important that all the shorter runs are handled in the most efficient and fastest way in order not to create bottlenecks. How do we do this? Well, a faster printing press is for sure helping, but that's not all, because we need to be able to also handle properly and quickly what happens before and after printing. So all the job submission, if we want to call it like that, through the printing, getting to the finishing. So once again, automation is only helping with all of this, because if we can make these tasks faster, then also our turnaround times are improved, and there is more we can do and more efficiently. We move to the next point, which is the fact that automation allows you to improve quality of what we're doing. So after reducing the errors that we might make and shortening our turnaround time, we need to make sure that we maintain a good quality of what we're producing and what we're delivering. Fortunately, we have in place sophisticated tools that can do this. Sophisticated tools that can work on our color management. On the fly, we can check what is happening and correct if there is the need to be correct, in order to keep the machines always linearized in a way that they're delivering the quality that we expect. But what we can also do with these tools is something that the human eye wouldn't be able to do. And not only this, during printing, we can also check for defects potentially and already eliminate that page that was printed with a defect and produce another one right away. Or talking about, like I already said in the job submission, we talk about pre-flighting of the jobs, and we exclude any possible errors that we might have. Moving to the next point, automation allows us to make things easier. And when we look at this aspect, I would like to divide it into two different parts. So it makes the life easier for ourselves. Let's say if I pretend to be a print provider, a commercial printer, why does it make it easier? Because through automation, the operator on the press needs to worry about less things. Because the press can be set in a way that it's doing everything by itself, even to the extent of finding out, okay, this is the paper I have, and this is how I need to behave when I work with this paper, without having the operator having to worry about it. Or the same goes for imposing the job or anything else that you may think of. This brings us to the point that making it easier for the operator will need to spend less time on the press, therefore can attend another machine if needed, or fulfill other tasks. Or if we want to look at it from a different perspective, it's freeing time for ourselves to look outside and be creative, like I suggested earlier in my introduction. And last but not least, we get to the point of the fact that automation allows you to optimize what you're doing. It allows you to optimize your entire production flow and have control over it. Both because you can have tools that allows you to see what is going on, that allows you to analyze what goes on in your production, your levels of productivity, and even suggesting how things can be improved. But once again, the optimization of the flow is very important because it reduces, once again, the cost that you might have. Therefore, it increases our productivity and our profitability in general. And the most important thing, it's still allowing us to have free time to look into other things and let the machines do their work without worrying about them too much. So, having said all of this, I would like now to move on to the rest of the team, to the rest of the colleagues that will show you step by step some more details on what we can do with automation. So let me just say one thing here. I will move and submit, open an application here to submit a job to let me log in into. Okay, so let me send the job to the rest of the colleagues here. We will be producing a loyalty card that it's going to be finished automatically, and there's going to be a few more steps in between.
Hi, my name is Achim Rix. In real life, I'm the product manager for production printing applications. Here in today's demo scenario, I have the role of the pre-press department. So my task is to make sure that all incoming jobs are ready for print and no problems will occur in the production. Now, usually I have to deal with things like incomplete orders or non-printable files. Now in our demo scenario, we will show you how a Courier Pro Flux solves all these issues. In normal operation, which means auto mode, all incoming jobs would be printed without any human touch. In order to visualize you what's going on behind the scenes, we halted the production and show you which settings are applied automatically. Now, this is the job which just came in. And here in the dashboard, I have an overview about all incoming jobs, and I can check the job status. And as you can see down here, it has been pre-flighted. I have a green check mark. Everything is okay. So fonts are embedded, no low-res images are included, and I don't need to do any further manipulations on that. So let's open the job and check what happened behind the scenes. As you can see here, it has been imposed automatically. The crop marks have been applied. It's been assigned to the printer, and everything happens without any further human touch. So all I have to do right now in our demo scenario is to hit the print button. And now I can enjoy my coffee. Now I would like to pass on the word to the print room, and they will show you what's going in the print room operation.
Hello, I'm André Stadkus, Product Manager, Professional Printing in Konica Minolta Europe. And today I have the pleasure to show you our Courier Pro dashboard. The use case I show you today, I do it as a manager of the print room. And we will show you now this application in a very cool way, because you will have a deeper insight to the print room. You can have a deeper look to the print jobs itself, to the media, to the up and down times. And you see also by selecting the device, which is more with a higher productivity or lower productivity. So I will show you now the deeper insight. Please follow me to my office. As you can see here now, this is the user interface of our Courier Pro dashboard. And you can select here, for example, the time period. You can select some devices or deselect it as you like to and see immediately the change for the trend of the print volume. By having a mouse over to the print volume distribution, you see how many sheets has been printed by each device. On the second tab, you will find information for the print jobs. And here you can see also how many jobs has been printed as a copy job, as device adjustment sheets, or which has been printed okay or with an RIP error. On the print media tab, it's also very nice. You can also here deselect the 6136, the monochrome engine, and then select the coated paper. By selecting this paper, you see immediately which paper has been used most. As you can see here, the LumiSilk with 135 GSM is the most favorite one, with more than 11,000 sheets. In addition, and last but not least, you have here, of course, also a tab for the productivity, the most important topic for all of our customers. And as you can see here, we have here jobs, for example, like a complete imposed job, or you have a job from the C14000, which has been printed with 88.1% in 16.2 minutes. As you can see, a very nice tool. You have also additional filter to select which job should be shown. So starting with 1,000 or 2,000 sheets and then up to 50,000 sheets. You can also here easily change the settings. Last but not least, you also like to know who printed the jobs. And this is more something for you because we have it here as a tool which is running in your company, and you can see which operator had run these jobs on which devices. And as you can see, we have here the disk personnel, because this is coming from our showroom. We show you here demo data and not real life data due to GDPR reasons. As you can see, this analytics tool is quite interesting and bring you a bit forward, but we will switch now to another application which is also part of our dashboard and give you more insight about the prediction. Here you can see dedicated information between the weeks which has been produced, and you can see that there's an improvement of the uptime by 4.1 hours. So very interesting, because we can give you now recommendations how to interact with the devices to increase your uptime. Via the analyzed details, you see here that we have a list of suggestions how to increase the uptime, or maybe to be a bit more productive and interact with the devices. On this side, you see here the hours where the device was available, the printing hours, and so on. Of course, these are not real production data. Again, due to GDPR reasons, we show you here dummy data. On the bottom, you see also printing interruption time for machine 89. You have reduced from going back to the first page. You have here also an information about the file list itself. And of course, you can scroll down to the dedicated jobs which you have printed. Finally, we can select also a date where you have printed a job. And of course, you can select this. And as you can see, this job has been printed with 4 paper jams, which is of course not good, but that should show you again the dummy data. And on this day, you switched on the device at 8 o'clock, and you had run the job first at 10 o'clock, the package PDF, and the last job has been produced, the business card, from 21 o'clock to 22:30. If we select this business card job, you can see that this was a job who has produced the 4 paper jams, and this could be the reason because there was maybe the wrong humidity in the room, or maybe a misoperation by the operator, or something else which was not very good. So information which shown also in addition is that you have information about the panel operation itself. So when the operator is standing in front of the device, make some settings maybe for the finishing, for the calibration, and so on, or preparing maybe a job. So this information you can see here. And of course also information about when the front door has been opened due to remove these paper jams which are mentioned above. In addition, to refill the paper, you will have also an information how long it took to refill the paper in the dedicated tray. So very useful for you to oversee, is it very important how long this has been produced. Overall, I can tell you that this tool will bring you more productivity, more transparency to your print room. And now I will switch over to my colleague Ines, who is in the print room, and she will show you more interesting things. Have a great day.
Thank you, Andre. Hi, my name is Ines Wennemann, and I work as a product manager in the professional printing team of Konica Minolta Europe. And I welcome you to our print room here at Konica Minolta Langenhagen, where we would like to show you the fully automated workflow of printing loyalty cards. Achim has already sent the print job to the print room, and in real life, it would have started automatically without another intervention. But in order for you to trust us that we can really print 120 of those loyalty cards, we will print them live. So you see here, this tray is empty, and I will restart the print job from the panel. And then in order for you to see that it's really that fast, to get 120 cards, printed duplex, fully finished and ready to ship in 1 minute. So, and this all happens with our TU510. The TU510 trimming unit was introduced last year and is a fully developed unit by Konica Minolta. It's unrivaled in the market, and it can produce inline a lot of cool print products like postcards, flyers, fully cut and creased 8-page brochures, and even business cards, or like we do today, loyalty cards. The TU510 can be connected to all of our AccurioPress color devices and is an affordable solution that saves up a lot of time, as finishing is the most demanding step in the print production. And you can see here, while I was talking, we have produced business cards ready to ship to your customers in 1 minute. And this is as easy as this can be. And let's now have a look in the TU510, and I can show you the different options in the unit. And you can get a better overview and understanding how this unit is working. So as you maybe know, if you are a Konica Minolta customers, we have a lot of different configuration types. This also goes for our TU510. As a standard or as a basic functions, you have a guillotine for the front and back trimming and a slitter unit to cut the top and the bottom of a sheet. This is perfect to cut SOA3 sheets into full bleed A3 output. In addition, you can add another slitter unit that helps you to make slitting in the middle of the sheet. This is perfect for A5 sheets, for flyers, for postcards, anything you can imagine here. And what is really the clue, I think, is that you can print and finish sheets up to 1300 millimeters length, and then can fully finish them. You can cut them all the way around, and you can even add optional creasing to it. We have 2 different creasing tools that can do creases from the top and the bottom, and a total of 5 trimming creasings in 1 step. So this would be perfect for those type of applications you see here, which is 8-page brochures that can be directly folded and shipped to the customers. Another offering we have is the perforation tool. The perforation tool offers horizontal and vertical perforation to the trimming unit. This is ideal for coupons you would like to add in mailings, or any other things you can imagine. Those die sets or those sets of perforation, creasing, cutting, those can be exchanged by the user. So it takes you maybe 30 seconds to exchange the different die sets. So now let's go back to my colleague Carl, who will tell you why we ensure the quality standard throughout a long print job, and the quality here at Konica Minolta.
Hi, I'm Carl, and I work as a product manager in the professional printing team of Konica Minolta Europe. My task today is a bit difficult or challenging because I will talk about a lot of engine features in regards of automation. But these features are working in the background, so you haven't seen it during the production. Earlier today, you saw from Achim, Andre, and also Ines, how it all worked really fully automated. But there are a lot of processes which running in the background, which helping you to get the optimum quality. One part of the technologies we are using to get the optimum quality for you is our IQ501, the intelligent quality care unit. It's built here in this line as well, and it does several things. Several things to really free your operator time. There are more valuable tasks in your company than just taking care that the press is working. So we have identified these challenges or pain points you may have in production on the presses and try to help the operator to automatically come over it. For example, if I look to the duplex registration, the typical thing, we are doing the duplex registration fully automatically. You just put your new paper into the paper tray, push the green button, and the IQ501 will create a kind of frame on the sheet and read it. And adjust all settings for the registration. It will identify any trapezoid, bow effect, any shifting, shrinking, whatever it is, it will identify, correct it, and create values which are then put into your paper catalog. So every time you use this paper, you have already the optimum settings. But this is not done only before printing, it's also done during printing. So if I look to our sample we just did, you see here some registration marks on the sheet. These are read on the fly for here the IQ501, and it corrects settings or any changes over the time so that you can be sure that the registration is always good enough. So that was the duplex registration. Another thing, which is of course very important, is the quality itself. So no defects should happen during the print run. Defects can happen for many reasons. We have a technology built in to check before you print if there are any defects on the sheet. You print a test thread, the IQ501 will look at it and will detect anything which shouldn't be there. If it is the case, it will give you the feedback. If it is not the case, you can be sure you can start the production. This is again done before you print your job, but it also can be done during the job. This is then called the auto inspection technology. The auto inspection technology will observe every single sheet, and as soon as there is anything which shouldn't be there, it will sort out the sheets. At the end, it will pre-print all the sheets so that you can be sure that your volume is always absolutely fulfilled, but all defected sheets will be sorted out from the production, so you really can rely on the quality you will ship to your customers. Furthermore, we also can look to the color. Color is always tricky, and we have one part of the IQ501 is, for example, doing the morning adjustment. So every morning your operator comes to the machine, he pushes the green button, and the machine will do a lot of things to bring the quality back to the day before, the week before, the month before, so the machine stays very stable. It takes about 12 minutes, so your operator is fine to have another coffee. This also can be done during the run. So we can add some color marks on the edges of the sheet, which are again read by the IQ501, and the color and the calibration or linearization is frequently checked and corrected so that you can be sure that your colors are kept stable. Furthermore, we can do the calibration with the IQ501, and last but not least, even the profiles are done with the IQ501. You don't need to have an external measurement device anymore and swipe over a sheet or something like that, which is all a very manual process and maybe sometimes even a faulty one, because in some measurements device you have the right speed or have to have the right speed, but this is now done with the push of a button with the IQ501 fully automatically. So what's more, one of the latest functionalities we have in the IQ501 is variable data inspection. For example, if you print a mailing or if you print a voucher or a ticket, you may have a barcode or QR code on it, and the IQ501 could read this code and put it into a CSV file. So at the end, you have a full reporting of all records you have printed for your customers. You can use this as a report to your customers to show them that really everything was printed as he expected. This can even be improved to a kind of comparison functionality. So if you get a CSV file before you print from your customers, you can load it to our system, and the system will again look on the sheet, on the printed sheet, for again QR codes, barcodes, and numbers, and compare it with the CSV file you got from your customers. And if everything is fine, every QR code is readable and matched to the CSV file you get from your customers, the print will continue. If there is any defect, if there is anything unexpected, the machine will stop. So this is all the technology we have here in the background to automate your processes and again to free your operator time. That's for my part, and thank you. And I hand over now to Edo again. Bye.
Here I am again. Thanks everyone for the demonstration, for showing us in details what automation can be like and what can be done. For those of you watching this session, I can guarantee you there is much more that we can share with you. We've only scratched the surface, I would think. So each one of them would be happy to give you many more details and showing you effectively what else can be done with automation, because there is more, definitely more that can be done. So I would suggest you get in touch with us, with your local representative, or through our website also, or directly here you have tools to also approach us, and we will be happy to talk to you. We would actually be delighted to talk to you, because as I said, I think the key in all of this is for us to even exchange ideas and opinions, and not only how we can use on our machines to do certain things, but by starting with that, we might get to the point of finding ways to have the printing industry thriving again. So I thank you for staying with us until now, and we hope to see you soon in person again, or find us through the virtual channels here. Thank you very much. Bye bye.